Hi, this is Ron Risman at CameraTown.com, and I'm here to show you a brand new product from a company called Focus35. This is their Skater Dolly. It's a brand new product from them, and what I love about it, other than its low price, it sells I think for $119 on their website, is that it's very compact and very small, and it really does the job of what it's intended to do. It is basically a quarter-inch maybe piece of aluminum, very strong piece of aluminum here. You've got a drill hole in the center with a 3/8 screw that they give you, plus they give you a 1/4-20 adapter, so you can actually attach a camera directly to this, attach a ball head, either with a 3/8 inch or a 1/4-20 screw. And then you can loosen these wheels over here, and you can angle these, so you can actually do circular moves, you can do straight moves, you can do angled moves, and it's just very, very flexible. And because of the size of it, you don't need a huge tabletop to act as your track in a sense. What I love about it is that the size is so small, you don't have to have a big piece of real estate. You don't have to have a large table to actually act as your track. So you can get a lot of distance out of this with any sort of small flat surface. You can even go out and get yourself maybe a 6-inch wide board and just keep it in the back of your car, 3 feet long, 2 feet long, 4 feet long, however, whatever the length is, you now have a dolly track that long. So while you're not going to use this on carpet, you're not going to use it on rough surfaces, you can definitely use it on hardwood floors as long as you go with the grain. You can use it on cement, you can use it on felt, you can use it on a lot of different surfaces, obviously glass tabletops, marble tabletops, wood tabletops, any kind of smooth table you can use this on. And it is just a perfect size. So let me show you how I basically connect this. I've taken my, got a little ball head. This is not an ideal ball head for this because of the way the handle comes down. You can't get much height if you're trying to shoot low and aim high. But for what I'm using it for today, it'll work fine because I'm actually going to be aiming up a little bit on the pool table. So I'm going to screw this on here. And this has got a 1/4-20 adapter already in here, the one that came with it. So I'm connecting this up here and make this nice and tight. Now I can actually put my camera on here. So I'm going to take my Canon 7D and I'm going to place it into the quick release. And I'm going to tighten these legs up. And now let me just go, I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. So in the configuration that I have this now, I've got my 7D sitting on a pivoting ball head, and I've got my wheel straight. So now if I basically just want to do a straight left or right dolly move, I can do so. I don't have a battery in here right this second inside the camera because one of them is dead, so I'm charging it up at this point. But I will show you some video that I'm creating, and I'll put it at the end of this review so you can see some of the footage being shot with this. And I'm also going to show you some other footage as well, not on a pool table, so I can show you some glass surface and some other dolly moves without having to use the pool table. I do use this a lot for this kind of shot. If you remember I did a review of the Humble Monkey, which is based on a similar concept. It's much larger in size, much heavier duty, designed for a lot more gear and more weight added on top of it. But the principle is the same, basically wheels and moving a camera system along it to do a dolly shot. One of the nice things I found is that when you're doing a dolly shot, if I wanted to keep this cue ball in the center of my frame the whole time, all I've got to do is turn a wheel here, and so now I can actually go around this ball, and while it's not perfectly centered yet, a little bit more adjustment to the wheel and I can get it to do so. So let me just bring this back at the starting point here, turn the wheel just a little bit more, and now I can do a nice move around that ball. So the possibilities are really endless. Now, this does not necessarily take the place of a portable track system, you know, the kind like the Indy slider or the Glidetrack or the DP slider or some of the others that are on the market. The benefit of having a track under you, you know, in a sliding situation is that your moves are repeatable because your track is the same, and you can mount it on top of a tripod and actually have a dolly move without having to worry about a surface to put it on. However, there are advantages of having a skater-style track as well. In this case, you're not limited to track length. As long as you have a tabletop, or in this case a pool table, your length is only limited by the surface itself. So if you've got a long floor, you can do a 8-foot, 14-foot dolly track. In this case, the pool table is probably 7 feet long, maybe 7.5 feet long. I can adjust my legs, and now if I want to do a dolly move, I can do a dolly move all the way down the length of the track, something that would be very difficult to do if you had a 2-foot dolly or a 3-foot dolly track. So that is basically the product. There isn't a lot to it. You basically have a screw here and a screw here with washers that keep these semi-tight. I mean, even with this tight, pretty much tight all the way, you can still position these, which I personally like. They'll basically stay in position once you've got them there, but you can easily adjust them without having to sit there and unscrew each time. It would be nice to actually have a system where when you screwed it tight it would stay there, but I don't know if that's really needed for this kind of purpose. A product like this was $119, and this really does what a Humble Monkey does. It just does it in a smaller form factor and for maybe lighter gear. But you can easily put a DSLR in here. You can easily put a camcorder in here. If it's going to be really, really front heavy, I haven't tried it. I would assume that you might start getting a little bit of tipping, but I've got a 24-105 on here, and the weight is obviously tilted toward the front, but I'm not getting any of that forward motion. What Focus35 has done is they've come out with a tool that isn't over-engineered. It's really designed to be inexpensive and to do what it's supposed to do. I think it succeeds at that. So this is the Focus35, the Skater Dolly. It sells for $119 on their website, and I'll show you some footage at the end of this review so you can actually take a look at it and make a decision for yourself. The other thing I really wanted to mention about this is compared to using a track dolly, like an Indie Slider or some of the others that are on the market, there's virtually no sound with this. It is really, really, really quiet. So if noise from the device was an issue and you weren't going to be adding in music and you needed the sound from the microphone or from the on-camera mic that you might have on there, this virtually is silent. I can try to get my mic real close to here. So that's another thing that you really, really notice about this compared to a regular slider dolly, is that because there's no track and the wheels are rubber, you get a really, really quiet ride on here. And the fact that you can then position these wheels and do things other than a straight move and do a sort of curved dolly move, you can do that. If for some reason you didn't have space to get both wheels on here, you could actually, because the wheels move independently from each other, you can actually hold these two wheels back here and actually skate across and do a short little skate like this. You're going to tend to potentially bounce the camera. Maybe you keep your hands like this and you slide across. But there are methods of, just taking this and trying things out with it. And that is it. This is Ron Risman at CameraTown.com. Thank you very much for watching.